What's up? Hello, everyone. Episode 2, Life Notifications. Episode 1 was a lot of fun. Hopefully, this one gets a little bit better. We're going to try and improve each week, no matter what, having a really fun time doing it. Just jumping right in, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched week 1, everyone who gave feedback, everyone who commented as well. It was cool. It was something that I had never even thought about when I started this, and I see how people get addicted to this or really enjoy creating this stuff, because it makes a big world kind of turn into a small world. What I mean by that, I don't know where my commenters live or anyone watching, right? I don't know where you're at, so it's cool to think about. I probably wouldn't have a chance to talk to you or talk about this or know that it's something that you're thinking about. So you found the video, you watched it, you commented, you gave feedback. Really cool. Makes a big world into a small world. Gave me a lot of really thoughtful, and then also was very motivating as well. And even if I just started off, if anyone's thinking about starting a YouTube channel or creating content or putting themselves out there, granted, I've only done it this episode 2. I don't have a super active Instagram. I got Twitter, whatever. I would definitely encourage you to do it. You never know what you're saying could be helping others, and it's a big world, and people are only kind of worried about their own stuff anyways. So, big whoop. If it goes great, great. If not, everyone's gonna forget about it. If you ever want to test that, I tested sometimes. I'll go on a walk. I walk the trail where I live. I know maybe one out of every 300 people I walk past. If I'm driving on the road, I just look out. There's tons of cars. I don't know any of them. Anybody who likes me would like me if this goes great or if it absolutely bombs. And I'm not even thinking about it from that standpoint. It's really just kind of a journal to myself and anyone else that's thinking about less screen time, making a switch. Hopefully, we're having a conversation here. I'm going to try and make this one better. I did a full outline. All right, so I did an outline this time as opposed to my notebooks, pulling it up. I've got a lot of writing on here. I hope it doesn't feel like I'm just reading off. I want to try and be a little bit off the cuff, stream of consciousness, but just have some topics. And here's what those topics are. Here's what I wrote. Life Notifications, Episode 2. To-do lists, time management, compartmentalizing tech, and Marty Supreme. I saw it today. I'll give a little feedback on the movie. I won't spoil anything. But to-do list, what did I mean by that when I started it? So on my iPhone, I had millions of to-do lists. I had to-do lists. I would every single day. It would say Monday, walk, work, and then I would have my little to-do list right there. Workout, every single one of my lifts. I would write them down. I would have them there. I had to-do lists. These weren't maybe exactly to-do lists, but I had lists of restaurants I wanted to try. Some in the city I live in, some in like New York. I don't live in New York. I had to-do lists of places I wanted to visit. I will see a recipe I like on Instagram. Not only will I bookmark it, sometimes I'll DM it to myself, creating a to-do list of recipes I want to try. Needless to say, dude, I'll go to Twitter, I'll bookmark something. Needless to say, I had so many to-do lists of all sorts of different things that you can probably guess what happens. Very rarely am I knocking those restaurants off my list. Very rarely am I like casually just booking a trip to one of the places on the list. And by very rarely, I mean never. The restaurants, that's not a never, because I love food and I do want to take advantage of that in the city I live in. But I think a lot of people feel this way. You have all these ideas of doing something, and you get overwhelmed with your to-do list, that eventually it's hard to start on anything. So I don't really have a call to action. It's just something that I wanted to talk through, something that I've noticed. And the other thing is that I'm shrinking my action on a to-do list. So if I wake up, there's something I'm thinking of, I try and do it as fast as possible. I don't know if that's new, if maybe it's, new year, getting excited, trying to hold that. But that would be another thing. If I can shrink my time from something I need to do to starting it, that'd be great. I think this is a great example starting these videos. If I didn't write down a to-do list and then I forgot about something, is it really that important? These are conversations that I'm having with myself. And I won't even say that having a to-do list is bad, because I loved checking them off. I loved erasing them. I loved finishing them. When people talk about vacation, like, the thought of going to the vacation is just as good. So when you have your to-do list, is creating that and thinking of what you have to do just as good as doing it? I don't know. Just saying, it's something that I'm noticing. I'm shrinking the time, and I'm trying to not put too much stress if I forgot about it because I didn't write it down. Because then, is it really that big of a priority? One other thing that I wanted to think about that I can't find it here. Something that I skipped in the opener. I've told a few friends about switching my phone over to a flip phone. The funniest thing, and I know this is coming from a really good place, but it's really cracking me up when people tell me that it's brave. It makes me think of the memes where it's like, men used to go to war, now they XYZ. So I'm very brave. I'm a tummy ache survivor. I had one this week. I traded in, I put my phone on a flip phone. I've made a prank call in the last I'm very brave. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for shouting me out for that. Men used to go to war. Now we switch to flip phones. Basically the same thing. So that's my bravery. Okay. To-do lists. What was the next thing I wanted to jump into was time management. All right. So I called out last time, and once again, big recap for people that are just jumping in for the first time. It's pretty simple. I had an iPhone. Now I've got a flip phone. Still have my iPhone for edge cases. I just keep it in a room. I'm trying to really separate that. I averaged, I would say unusual, about 6.5, 7 hours of screen time a day would be my weekly report. Part of that was work. You can see I'm embarrassed about it, so I'm trying to justify it. It's a full-time job. 7 times 7, 49. 49 hours a week of doing some sort of looking at my darn phone. Now, I could say I've got 7 hours back. What am I going to do? I'm going to split the atom. Let's be real. Part of having time and managing your time, it's not only managing your time, but you got to manage your energy. So I need to find out where I'm going to put that energy. I'll call it out. It's been tough sometimes. My brain's pretty active, and looking at the iPhone, it calms it down. And I don't even know if it calms it down. It almost like turns it off. And so then I'm trying, this has actually been a really tough part of like going through like how I'm adapting. Because if I wake up and I do Duolingo on my phone, is it really that worth it? Because I'm on the iPhone, then I check my, whatever apps, like investment apps or something, maybe my email. I'm already starting the day. What I think is productive by doing Duolingo, I'm kind of starting off by turning my brain off. And I don't know about y'all, but mine is, it's just like a car. I mean, like you don't just turn your car off and on all day. That just can't be good long term for the battery. Who knows? I'm not a mechanic. I just got my battery changed, and now it feels like turned on like a beast when I turn my car on. Just something I'm thinking about. Like I look at my phone and my brain really does kind of turn off. So I need to be really diligent of how I'm going to work it into my routines. And I have routine like Duolingo. Do I care that much about this streak? I think so, but can I maybe work that into later in the day? Is there something I could look at the computer first, right? Like I go for a walk, I come back kind of eager to check my phone for something because maybe I want to see if something went up, or like I maybe made an Insta story, something like that. Do I check it right then? Can I check it on my laptop first? And I think what I'm going to do, my main strategy is move the phone into this room that I'm in. This is my office. I work from home, which I also think contributed to some of the phone addiction because I could just go to my kitchen to beat the brick. I think I'm going to leave my phone in here as much as humanly possible. And when I come in here, try laptop first. Try laptop first. If I can see the things I need to see on the laptop, I don't even have to mess with the phone. All right. Also, the main thing I was worried about was directions. I've been joked, people have teased me I get lost in a shoebox, couldn't get my way out of a wet paper bag. I've heard them all. I'm getting better, but I mean, there are places I've lived in the city I live in 8 years. I live in Austin. I don't know why I'm trying to act like gatekeeper. I live in Austin, Texas. I've lived here 8 years in total. So I'm getting better at directions, but really it's kind of lame that I haven't known places. And I think part of it, it's like, when you ask somebody to do something and they do it poorly, so you never ask someone again. I wonder if I've kind of like put directions off in that sense. But yeah, time management. Also, just like I was thinking about, like, why do people like love saving time? Like whenever I thought about saving time, you know what I was doing when I saved time? I was looking at cool, I saved time. Now I can look at my phone in that saved time. I would hire a TaskRabbit. I'm going to try and do these projects myself. Build some bookshelves. I'm going to try and do them myself. I'm not going to try and hire a TaskRabbit because now that's time. Yes, I could be laying on the couch saving time. Or, if I drive fast, I'm saving time. What am I saving time for? So now I look at it, if I could learn how to build stuff, that's a really valuable use of my time. At work, we're always trying to optimize stuff, and then you do it so fast. Urgent. Everything's urgent. So then nothing is kind of urgent. So I've got something due on Tuesday for work. I feel like I've got plenty of time. I don't know. It's cool. I'm going to try and stop saying I don't know, too. I feel like I see that a lot in corporate America. People will say something they really believe in. Just stick with it. Just say what you believe in. You don't have to say I don't know after. I think it's an easy filler word or filler sentence. So I do know that if I saved time, if I got somewhere 30 minutes early, I was probably just going to scroll my phone for 30 minutes. I do know that I think it's valuable if I can learn how to build something, fix something. There's going to be, of course, times I have to call somebody, but I'm going to try and put that on my shoulders first. And that's a valuable use of time. I'm going to frame it. It is a valuable use of time. So, time management, tech, compartmentalizing tech. All right. I kind of talked about it. This room, I'm going to aim for this. This is almost like my internet room. I'm getting better. I'm still struggling a little bit, but I'm getting better at, and this is going to be crazy, all the stuff I say here. I've got a work laptop. I've got my personal laptop, my flip phone. I kept the iPhone, like I said, for edge cases. I do have an iPad for, some Verizon deal. And then I've got my TV. iPad doesn't really leave my bedroom. Sometimes if I want to watch an episode of something to fall asleep to, that's why I keep it in there. I also like to fall asleep to podcasts. I'll set a sleep timer for 15, 30 minutes. Maybe I'll do that on my iPad. Then I really can leave my phone out here. I also just got a daylight alarm. Oh my God, highly recommend those. Not to go product dropping or fake advertising here. But I'm getting better, and this will be a little bit of a process because I'm fighting years of habits, years of things that I've done. So if my flip phone is calls and texts, my iPhone stays in my internet room, and I check my investments, I play chess, I check a little Twitter, I check a little Instagram, and then for airports or GPS, boom. There may be some days when I'm exercising, I need some Spotify. I've been good about that so far. It's actually been really exciting to like people watch and not have anything. But there's going to be some days where like I know I want to play certain songs if I'm moving a little slow. Uh, and then I've got my work, like laptop for work, or laptop for maybe some things I want to check on the front end. Before this, and I'm curious, like those of you all who are thinking about this, when I would lay on the couch, I'd have my phone, I'd be watching TV. I wouldn't really be watching because I'd be also looking at my phone. Or sometimes I would watch a sporting event, but I'll watch it on mute and then have a podcast playing. And then even while that's playing, maybe I'll pick up and scroll Twitter. So what ends up happening, I've got a million things I'm watching. I'm sure they're attacking my brain all in different ways, but I'm getting none of it. So you talk about quantity over quality. That is the absolute definition. I'm spreading my attention across 4 things, but I'm definitely not even getting 25% of each to equal 100. I'm maybe getting like 5% of each. And it's just been it's tough. I think we can all relate to it. We've all been there. But dopamine stacking, compartmentalizing tech, it was just a lot of things all at once. One thing that's been fun then though is because I'm trying to keep my phone away from me, I'll keep it in my room, and I don't have a screen time update. I would guess I'm probably at about 2 hours day this week, maybe like 2.5. I'm going to start putting it on my calendar. I have a calendar with daily goals. I'm going to start putting it on a calendar to hold myself accountable. But one cool thing is now I'm like really watching TV. I'm really reading books, and like I'm fully grasping them. I think a little better than when, even if I was really watching, if you pick up your phone 5 times and check Twitter 5 times, like 3 times during a show, now I'm really grasping it. It makes me maybe want to go back and rewatch stuff or dive into movies. And mostly like watch movies that have been out for a while that are known as really good movies or that I just know I would enjoy. But that will take me in here to my last part. And this will be a discussion about Marty Supreme, which I saw today. Like I said, I'm just kind of riffing in this in episode 2. Maybe I'll get a structure, but maybe you guys can just enjoy hearing me talk stream of consciousness. But I went and saw Marty Supreme. And this could be actually maybe like this could be a part of the structure of future episodes as I end. I was thinking maybe I end and kind of give an update on something that I knocked out on a to-do list, because I finished a couple books this week. I finished I Wear the Black Hat by Chuck Klosterman and Invisible Man by Chuck Klosterman. I'm just kind of on a kick with him. Right now I started Catching the Big Fish by David Lynch. That's got more of like a Daily Stoic vibe, really short chapters. But I also started The Master biography of Roger Federer, who's my favorite athlete of all time. Needless to say, it's starting off amazing. Some cool quotes I just remember off the top of my head were, even though he's put on a pedestal, he loves to have conversations more eye to eye. So Federer's just really humble, loves to try and see people as peers. That was probably what really stood out inside of the first 30 pages. Also, he talks a lot about, his skill, a lot of different things. I mean, anyone that's watched him play tennis knows it's unbelievable watching him play tennis. It's so fluid. His kinetic chain is perfectly connected. His forehand is at its best maybe the greatest weapon in tennis history. and then his stoicism, his demeanor. Just he's just my guy. He's just my guy. But he also talks a lot about having a lot of good luck in his book, which I just think is really cool. I think that there's two ways to look at it. You can beat the door down and create success like no matter what. You can also acknowledge luck plays a factor. I think there's always going to be a piece of luck no matter what, but I don't know where I stand on it. I think that I probably lean a little more like butterfly effect. There's going to be a piece of luck, but I think that some people that are great at whatever they do, business, life, they were going to be great no matter what. And maybe they reach an 8 no matter what. Maybe like an 8 out of 10 was their floor, and then you needed a couple breaks to go your way to reach that 10 out of 10 full. Every single gift of yours gets met. But it was just cool that he brought that up quite a bit inside of the first. I think I'm 38 pages in, but The Master is what it's called. Maybe I'll just turn this into a Federer podcast and I'll just talk about him. I probably could, whether it's that or maybe 90s wrestling, 90s country, Rey Mysterio. Anyways, let's talk about Marty Supreme. I saw it today. I took a notepad. I took a notepad into the movie theater, which I thought was like a great use of free will. But dude, it got so dark in there. So like I was basically writing with a blindfold. So my handwriting is not great anyways, but I was like writing over stuff. And look, I'm not going to spoil it. And I'm not a movie reviewer. This would be the first time. So I'll just kind of hit some high level stuff that may be important to you. It was important to me. First off, let's start with the fashion. Elite fashion. The way it fits, it draped really good. Just great outfits. Chalamet acted his butt off. Dude's a stud. Every good thing coming his way is deserved. And I think we've got kind of the leader in the clubhouse for the next Leo, so to speak, of what he's in. It's going to have probably a pretty cool, the movie's going to be a pretty cool idea. I don't know, and no, just like, I don't hate people for doing this, but I don't see him like jumping into Marvel or doing a bunch of sequels. I think movies that he chooses to be in are going to be unique. He's going to act his butt off. He's also going to like put himself out there and promote his butt off. I really admire the way he's been talking, putting himself out there and manifesting and calling his shot that he wants to be known as one of the greats. So big shout out to him. Very glad that he just recently turned 30, joined the Young Club. Thought he was like way younger than that, which I don't really feel too jealous of people that are super successful when they're young, but a little bit. I definitely recommend seeing it. It's high intensity, Uncut Gems vibes, same director, high intensity. I could feel like my shoes felt pretty tight. Like, like when you eat too much salt, your feet swell up. I kind of felt that for a second, my shoes tight. Maybe I just tied them too tight. I untied them and retied them during it. But there's some anxiety-inducing parts in the movie. It's a roller coaster, no doubt, but I definitely think it's worth seeing. The last couple things I want to call out. A tournament. Maybe we just need more tournaments. Tournaments rule. Tournament movies rule. Bloodsport, Karate Kid, any movie with a tournament. Sign me up. I'm going to enjoy it. All right. So tournament movies, hell yes. More tournaments in life, I'm down. Hell yes. Like tennis tournaments, everyone loves it. We're in the middle of the college football playoffs. Enjoyable. March Madness. I love tournaments. Sign me up for tournaments, tournament movies. Just make a movie called The Tournament. You have a concept of what it is. You get some good actors in there. You would watch The Tournament. So there's that. Also kind of like a mindset thing. It's cool to care. I think we're entering now a new there for a stretch there. It's cool. Like, oh, I'm just chill, man. It's all good. I'm cool. I don't care. I think we're going to be entering a little stage where it's cool to care. I think there's going to be some cringeworthy stuff out there, but I think cringe is going to be cool in its own way too. Put yourself out there. It's cool to care. It's cool to try. It's okay to be cringe. Good things come on the other side of all of that. This movie, the dude cares his butt off. And so whether you are a ping pong player, ping pong coach, air conditioning salesman, a teacher, whatever you are, if you care, maybe some people will think it's uncool. Big deal. Are those the people you want to impress anyways? It's cool to care. If you have that mindset, if you got to find something to care about, try and do it. It'll be cool. I've never had a conversation with somebody when they're talking about something they really care about and it's not a fun conversation. Just love seeing people enjoy stuff and care about stuff. So it's cool to care. And then I'm going to shout out Chalamet one more time. When I was in there, the last 30 minutes of the movie, great movie, great ending, but it felt like a culmination of all of his press tour, promotional tour. Those did add a piece to the movie for me about how much he cared and like what he was putting out there. It's hard to explain, but it's like you're watching it, you're cheering for the character, but you're also cheering for him because you know what he put into it. So I would just describe it like that. Like when I was watching it, it felt more like a culmination as opposed to just an end of a movie. It felt like a culmination of all the work, all the stuff we've seen him put out there. So big shout out to him for that. That director rules. Very cool to get so many different people to be in the movie. Like I love the story of the Knicks fan who was hating on Trae Young and got in the movie because the director's a Knicks fan. Just a lot of great stuff out there. And then randomly I wrote down in my notes just because I learned about it this week and thought it was insanely hilarious. I just wrote, it's not insanely hilarious. I wrote down John Wilkes Booth because I learned more. I didn't realize he was a like famous actor in that time when he did what he did. So I'm not saying that's funny. It just really is. Could you imagine like a famous actor doing something like that? It's wild. I didn't know anything about that. So maybe not my best ender there. Let's go back and I'll say I recommend seeing Marty Supreme. I really admire Chalamet for swinging for the fences, all the work he put into it. I think he nailed it with this character. And then, thanks again for everyone for watching episode 1. I hope you watch episode 2 as well. If you comment, I'll try and comment back. I'm not opposed to, sharing my email or having a conversation with anyone that needs to if they're thinking about switching over to a flip phone or doing something to decrease screen time and what it could do, maybe like what you're thinking about, what you're nervous about. Maybe we can talk that out or just think about it. Once again, this ain't an advice pod or show. I don't think it's possible for everyone. It's just something I wanted to try. So far, I'm enjoying it, but there are challenges too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep trying. Once again, I'm committing myself to 100 YouTube episodes this year. Maybe not this year, 100 YouTube episodes. I would love to do them this year, but I'm going to put myself out there, 100 episodes. Who knows? By episode 50, maybe I'm like showing you my yogurt bowl recipes. There's really no telling. Or I'm talking for an hour about Rey Mysterio. We don't know yet, but I like what I'm doing here. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having fun, and I hope if you get one thing valuable out of it or you enjoy it. So I'll keep trying. Appreciate everyone. Hope you have a great day. Great start to the new year. And don't be saying Happy New Year on like January 15th. I kind of like the Larry David rule. After Jan 3rd, I think he says. We don't say it no more. So yeah. Hope everyone has a great day though. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I'm impressed. And we will see you soon for episode 3. Ta-ta for now, I guess. See ya.